right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I have for you guys today, Chris Bumstead, the latest physique update from Chris, showing off the size of his legs, which I think is actually pretty impressive. So the caption that Chris has on there is quads are already leaning out, and he says something about his comfy boxers. But we just saw that physique update from Chris, what was it, about a week ago, where he said he was weighing 264, 265, which is the heaviest that he said he's ever weighed beginning an off-season prep. Or I guess you could say during an off-season going into a prep, that's the heaviest that he's weighed. So we know that he's bigger than he's ever been before. And we know based on what we saw last year that Chris was able to make substantial improvements between 2019 and 2020 Olympia. So how many more improvements can Chris really make? I mean, the guy is phenomenal. And if he's still weighing anywhere near 260 with legs looking like that, I mean, it's insane how good Chris really is. So Chris is a guy I think we need to follow closely because while he is two-time Mr. Olympia, I think he's got like Phil Heath potential. Like he is so good in that division. He fits so good in Classic. He could be a guy that's 5, 6, 7, 8-time Mr. Olympian Classic because his structure is that good in that Classic. His genetics are that good and that well-suited to that division. That's how good I think Chris is. My personal prediction, I'm going to go with 5 total Olympia titles before Chris is done. And I think he's going to add the 2021 Mr. Olympia title to that resume. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How is Chris looking? And do you think he's got another title win in him? Now, next up in the news, something that everybody's been wondering about, Roelly Winklaar. When will we see him compete next? We know that Roelly is confirmed to be competing in the Arnold Classic coming up at the end of September, just weeks before the Olympia. Now, the Arnold is an Olympia qualifier, but it is a stacked lineup, and Roelly's odds of winning the Arnold are probably a lot less than any other show. Now, recently, Roelly was asked in a Q&A on his story, what show are you doing? And Roelly says on that story, this was 7 minutes ago at the time that I'm recording this video, next week, everybody will know. Now, what happens next week? Next week is the Chicago Pro. So that tells me, I mean, to me, he's saying he's doing the Chicago Pro. Either that, or next week he's announcing that he's doing the Tampa Pro, which wouldn't really make sense because next week is still a couple weeks out from Tampa. So really, to me, what that means is he's doing Chicago, which would be a lot easier of a show to win than the Arnold, and probably easier of a show to win than Tampa. And if he doesn't win Chicago, he's always got the backup plan of going to Tampa the following week. So right now, based on this story update, Chicago makes the most sense to me. We'll probably see Roelly compete in Chicago. And like I said, if he doesn't win there, he's got Tampa just a couple weeks after that he can kind of use as that backup plan. And then, of course, he's got the Arnold. So that would give him 3 opportunities to qualify for the Olympia, either on winning a show or probably off some heavy, heavy points. I'm assuming Roelly would win one of those 3 shows if he did all 3. Now, if he didn't win one, he would likely be a top placer in all 3 of those shows. And the points that he would earn for that would probably be enough to get him in the top 3 of point standings and get him to the Olympia. So I guess we'll see. But my prediction, if Roelly does Chicago, he will likely win that show. You've got Hunter in that lineup and Hassan in that lineup. But probably the biggest threat to Roelly would be Hunter. So that would be an interesting battle to see in Chicago. Now, speaking of the Chicago Pro, Keone Pearson just posted a physique update, a training video, where everyone has been sending me this video asking me if I think it's recent or not, asking me, really, why does he look so good? He looks a lot bigger. There's one specific shot in this video of his back, where his back looks insanely wide, insanely dense, and he looks like he's in really good shape all throughout this video. Now, I commented on that post and asked him if this was a recent video or not. He DM'd me and said it is in fact recent, but he does not say exactly how recent it is. So this is taken from his Chicago Pro prep. It is recent, probably just weeks out. And Keone is another guy that I cannot wait to see on stage at the Chicago Pro. And I think he's going to absolutely kill it. I mean, if Keone doesn't win, I would be shocked. Based on the improvements that we've seen Keone make, the genetics and structure that he has combined with the size, I think Keone is like a guaranteed win in Chicago if he comes in shape. And that's the if factor. And now a word from our sponsors over at Labrada Nutrition. Nick Walker and William Bonac appear to have squashed whatever beef there may or may not have been. Now, Bison Tries, the Instagram page, has done a really good job of documenting this. So recently, William Bonac commented on a picture of Nick preparing for the Arnold Classic, Bonac also preparing for the Arnold Classic. And Bonac says, looking solid, Arnold Sports, you sure you're ready for this? And Nick says, let's give them a show, replying to William. And William says, damn right we will, whether they're ready or not. Now, the reason why these comments were significant, also posted by Bison Tries, was the previous saga of Bonac commenting on Hunter Labrada's post, saying, Hunter Labrada looking on fire, brother, get this and join us at the Arnold before the O. You're a legit contender who is going to crush some overhyped dreams. Where is this young man's invitation? And, of course, William left that comment shortly after it was announced that Nick was invited to compete at the Arnold Classic. So a lot of people speculated in the comment section of this post that this was kind of a shot fired towards Nick Walker, especially with the overhyped line. A lot of people seem to make that argument against Nick. So it really appears as though William is just being a good sport, and certainly he has no reason to be a bad sport because Bonac has got to be the favorite to win the Arnold. He's a multiple-time Arnold Classic champion, and looking at his latest physique updates here, he showed off a back lat spread and a back double bicep a few days ago now. But Bonac, certainly one of the favorites to win this show, inviting all contenders to come challenge him for that title. And let's not forget, it was Bonac that beat Big Ramy in impressive fashion at last year's Arnold Classic. So Bonac has defeated the reigning Mr. Olympia right before the reigning Mr. Olympia got his Olympia title. So Bonac certainly no slouch, and he's walking into this lineup smiling and happy, and that's why he's commenting everybody's post, because this guy, he's a favorite for sure. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today, a physique update from Blessing Awodibu coming in the form of a guest posing. Now, he left a caption on this post that says, had me going crazy guest posing. This was hella fun. This was at the NPC Southern States. And he says, this is my current shape right now after 9 weeks completely off, hardly training, and low protein diet. 2 more weeks, and I'm back full gas, no breaks. And then, of course, he tags Redcon1. So for a guy that is, quote, completely off, I would say that Blessing looks pretty good here. Now, obviously, Blessing had a couple pretty disappointing showings in New York and at the Indy Pro. Maybe not so much the Indy Pro, which was his pro debut, where he still took top 3, but not where he expected to land in either of those lineups. So he's got some work to do, and he knows that. He's acknowledged that. He's going back to the drawing board for his next prep and his next, I guess, off season. And personally, I've got a lot of faith in Blessing. I think his structure will carry him a long way. And I think being as new to the game as he is and not being seasoned, he's got a lot of time to make some improvements and get things right. And I do think that he can still nail it. And he's got the opportunity to eventually be one of the best bodybuilders in the IFBB. But there is some work that needs to be done, especially when it comes to the lower body, especially when it comes to the condition. But I think he can do it, and I think he still does have a solid chance at being really competitive in the IFBB. And again, top 3 at a show like the Indy Pro, being your pro debut is nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that's pretty good. It's just not where he was advertising he would land. But what do you guys think about Blessing Awodibu and his future potential in the IFBB? That's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. As always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.